Hi, I'm Anna Knoll, and I'm going to be talking about abortion, which was the topic of my essay. I'm just going to kind of go over a few points of why I'm against abortion, which I wrote in my essay. I also left a visual aid of a YouTube video that gives you the history behind abortion, kind of some awareness in which you can use to help stop abortion. So I hope you enjoy that. I want to kind of start off by saying what proof really do people have when people start arguing about how, like, well, they're not living and breathing on this earth, so it's kind of okay if you want to kill these babies while they're in the mother's womb. And that really doesn't make sense to me, because how can they not be a human with rights even when they're in the mother's womb? There's not really any justification, or doctors don't really have any proof for that. And so that really concerns me as to why people like to argue that that they aren't considered a human. I think a lot of people don't realize that there are so many babies that get aborted each year, and that those babies could have had the chance to be the next president, the next Martin Luther King Jr., or the next Steve Jobs, but we'll never know because we've let abortion run our country, and that's ridiculous to me. I think a lot of people like to argue about women's rights, and I am all for women having totally equal rights as men. I am all for that 100%. But I think that when it comes to abortion, it's not really just the woman anymore. It's what's inside her, because that is a human being. It's not just her decision anymore. You have to take in consideration the baby. And so I really just don't think that abortions have anything to do with a woman's right to her body when she's now sharing that body with someone else, if you understand what I'm saying. Also, a lot of people like to argue about the rape. So, first of all, I think that something that's good to know is that 95% of women use abortion as a form of birth control, not from rape, incest, fetus abnormalities, or medical issues. So 95% of women just accidentally got pregnant because they weren't using protection, they weren't on their birth control pills, and they got pregnant. And so that's kind of crazy. Like, that was their own mistake, and I think they should have to pay for their own mistake. If they really didn't want a baby, then they should have been more careful. But there are those women who were raped and had incest, and so I kind of just want to read you something from the Elliott Institute. They surveyed 192 women who conceived during a rape or incest. Of those victims, 69% carried the baby to term and either raised the child or made an adoption plan. 29% had an abortion, and 1.5% had a miscarriage. They found that nearly 80% of the women who aborted said that abortion was the wrong solution. 43% of these women said they felt pressured to abort from family members or health workers. In the same survey, 80% of women who carried their baby to term were happy with their decision, and not one of those women who gave birth to a baby conceived during a sexual assault regretted it. It's all over the internet that women who get abortions are normally depressed, they have emotional breakdowns afterwards. It's not healthy for them as well as the child. Like, it's just, I don't know why it's still going on when women are literally getting so hurt over it, and even rape victims are regretting their decision to abort. And I just think that that's kind of crazy. So a solution for these victims, and for anyone who's thinking about abortion because they just can't take care of the child, they can't afford it or anything, is adoption. A lot of people say that there's so many babies that get aborted that there wouldn't be enough people to adopt these babies. But statistics show that right now, every one baby put up for adoption, 36 parents are waiting to adopt that baby. So, if we eliminated abortion, lots of parents would be getting the babies that they wanted because they couldn't have a child or something, or they just wanted to adopt. And so not only would ending abortion help save children, it would also give parents the chance to be parents. And if nothing I've said so far has really persuaded you to go pro-life, I think that this might, because this is kind of ridiculous, that our own government is hypocritical, because let's say a woman who is pregnant gets in a car crash and is killed, and the baby is also killed, then the person responsible will be charged with 2 degrees of murder. But this baby is not supposed to be considered a human, because it's okay to kill them when it's an abortion, but it's not okay when it's a car crash. So that doesn't really make sense. And it's not really fair for people who, for whatever reason, moral reasons, religious reasons, don't want to pay taxes to go towards Planned Parenthood and to help abort these children. Like, I personally don't want to have to pay taxes to kill innocent children that don't deserve it. And I just think that that's totally unfair for people, and it's kind of ridiculous. And so, if anything, I would just like to let you be aware of the touchy subject. It's a touchy subject for a reason, because it's dealing with innocent lives being killed. And so I just don't think that abortion should be a thing. And yeah, so thank you for listening.